Ex-prisoners, what did you see inside the prison walls that you'll never forget? The warden made me memorize his daughter's autopsy report before he told me I looked exactly like the man who took her life. I was serving 15 years for armed robbery when Warden Stevens arrived. First time he saw me during morning count, he literally froze, stared at me for 10 seconds, then projectile vomited all over the floor. The guards jumped back, but Stevens just kept staring at me while wiping his mouth, this look of pure hatred in his eyes. Within an hour, I was in solitary. No reason was given, just administrative segregation. But this wasn't normal solitary. Stevens had them turn off the heat in my cell during winter. I had to crap in a bucket for 30 days and sleep on concrete because they took my mattress. When I got out, my cellmate revealed why Stevens acted this way. Stevens' daughter suffered the same fate as a cow 5 years ago. Got held for days by them. He hasn't been human since. But that still didn't explain why Stevens was taking it out on me. I didn't know the guy after all. Well, Stevens was going to make sure I knew him well. From then on, he forced me to do push-ups on broken glass, planted contraband to add years to my sentence, and the worst part was what he did to my foster mom. She'd been requesting visits, but Stevens denied every single one. I found out later she was dying and had spent her last months trying to see me. He told me about her death after keeping it secret for a month, then made me watch while he burned all the letters she'd sent, but nothing compared to the psychological torture he put me through. Stevens would stand outside my cell at 2 a.m. reading autopsy reports of his daughter out loud. He made sure the details were ingrained into my mind until the end of time. By the end of the month, I knew by heart which of the bones had been broken, which organs were removed, and where they had left the body. During mandatory psych evaluations, he'd sit in the corner playing audio of a girl screaming. If I closed my eyes or looked away, solitary. If I broke down, solitary. If I stayed stone-faced, he'd increase the volume. 6 months in, I snapped. I made a noose for my sheets and kicked the stool when I was ready. The guards cut me down, but not quickly enough. Turns out Stevens had been watching on camera and let me dangle until I was seeing spots. He visited me in medical while I was still coughing up red liquid. My daughter didn't get to choose when to die, he said. Neither do you. This continued for 18 months. Then, on the 5th anniversary of his daughter's death, 2 guards dragged me to Stevens' office at 3 a.m. His floor was littered with Heineken bottles and his walls covered with crime scene photos. She was young, maybe 24, named Gwen, and was 7 months pregnant. Stevens forced me to watch a confession video on repeat. It was the first time he'd done that. When he turned the TV on, all I saw was Stevens' face staring back at me. But I quickly learned that the man was his twin brother Nathan. He described in gross, vivid details what he'd done to Gwen, laughing about how she'd begged, how she'd tried to protect her belly. When the confession finished for the 10th time, Stevens spoke. You know why I hate you? He pulled out his firearm, shoved it in my mouth. Look in the mirror. He dragged me to the mirror by my hair. As much as I hated admitting it, I looked exactly like the monster in the video. Same face, same build, even the same scar above my left eyebrow. The woman you robbed had a daughter. Stevens' hands shook. 24 years old, 7 months pregnant, just like Gwen. She begged you not to hurt her mom, and you laughed. His voice broke. Nathan laughed too. My whole body was shaking. I mumbled around the barrel that I didn't know my real father, that he'd burned me with cigarettes as a baby, then dumped me at a hospital. Stevens went very still. He pulled the firearm out, walked to his safe, came back with a file. They were DNA results. He tested me months ago using hair from my cell, and confirmed Nathan Stevens was my biological father. The room spun. Stevens showed me hospital records and recounted what really happened. Nathan had brought me in at 3 months old, told nurses he cries like his mother did before leaving. A note on my blanket said, his mother begged too. Maybe someone else can break the cycle. It took forever to click in my brain since it all seemed so impossible. I was staring at my cousin's crime scene photos. Stevens had been punishing his brother's son, his daughter's cousin.